Today I'm in Pinewood Forest, which is one of the most progressive communities in the southeastern part of the country. I'm on my way to meet Austin McKinney with McKinney Builders, and this is Behind the Build. Today we're in Pinewood Forest, which is a dream community for storytellers, entrepreneurs, and creators. And I had the privilege to go behind the scenes and learn more about McKinney Builders and why they play such an important role in building this community.
It's probably one of the greatest communities you could live in my opinion. So much so that I myself joined the community. I bought a house that I built here.
This developer is Cathy with Chick-Fil-A, and he's doing the details right. We see a lot of things that a lot of developers may not elect to spend the money or go the extra mile on, and Dan's always been there to do the right thing when the decision's to be made.
You can walk into any house in here, whether it be $1 million custom house or a $400,000 spec house like we're sitting in right here. The cool thing about Pinewood is the standards are almost the same. If you walk into a $1 million spec house, you will see money spent in certain areas, but overall the finish quality is exceptional in all the houses here. It doesn't matter if it's a townhouse or a $1 million house. And that's one of the things that sets Pinewood apart. You can get that $1 million feel in that $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 price point.
Another really awesome thing about Pinewood Forest is that it is a new urbanist community and features over 15 miles of walkable trails and pathways. Everything that you could possibly need is just walking distance from your home.
Say for example, my house. This afternoon, after I quit work, I'm going to the gym. Am I driving to the gym? No, I'm walking up to the Piedmont Wellness Center that's half a mile from my house. After that, in a year, I may run down to Hop City Barley Garden, grab a hamburger and a beer, and then walk home. I may walk to get a haircut. I may walk to get some groceries at the farmer's market. It's all walkable. You don't have to leave Pinewood Forest for the essentials.
So James took us to one of their exciting builds on 2nd Street.
The house we walked through today was a Chelsea. It's the Chelsea plan. Lou Oliver designed it. It is a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath house with a rooftop terrace walkout. It's going to be an awesome house. So these windows are a step up from what you see in a traditional build. The U-factor on these is 0.29, and because they're a casement window, they seal all the way around, and they actually get sucked in with these latches here. That gives us a higher air tightness rating on the house. Each stud, when we have a stud meet where our insulation will not go, we put a bead of caulk on it, just to seal that gap, just in case there is any air penetration. It's going to be stopped by this bead of caulk. Then over that, we're going to have drywall, which is additional air seal as well. We like a tight, clean, dry house. So we want to keep all of our air that we pay to condition and pay to keep it comfortable inside of the house, and all that pollen, rain, weather, dust on the outside of the house.
On the outside of the house.
So
that's during the build and then also after?
During and after. So we try to keep the job clean, of course, but you know, things.
And obviously, I mean, this is a very clean house. I mean, this is probably the cleanest build that I've ever seen.
So this is a closed loop geothermal system. So right here we have a circulator. This circulator goes to a well. That well's 500-600 feet deep. It's about 200 foot per ton. This is a 2.5 ton unit. So what that does is that completely replaces our outside HVAC system. So the advantage of that is it's almost half price. It's a half price reduction in heating and cooling throughout the winter and summer. And we have a great HVAC contractor. If you look up here, you can see all of our ducts are sealed during construction. So that seal is on till the very end of construction. So all that drywall dust, debris, paint, anything like that stays out of the HVAC system. And then when we turn it on, we have a filter in there to get any of the stuff that goes by.
So then I sat down with Austin McKinney and learned more about McKinney Builders and how they got started.
My father founded the company probably close to 50 years ago. He started under his ex-father-in-law and started kind of cut his teeth the same way we all have, in the trenches, being a superintendent and working his way up. found that it was something that I was good at. It was a job that really is very rewarding, and led him to stay in it for the next 50 years, and that's where he is today. We take a lot of pride in what we do. We're local guys building a local product for people that we can relate to, and we want them to have a lot of pride in the house that they're buying.
So here at Behind the Build, we always like to ask the question, outside of building, what do you like to do?
So I like to do a lot of different things. I don't really have one particular hobby, and that's probably some of my problem, but I like to have a lot of fun, whatever we're doing. A lot of it's high octane, extreme sports. I just got back from a snowboarding trip out west. Tomorrow we're going to do a driving experience where we drive, me, Robert, and my father doing Lamborghini driving experience. And then I'm a super huge supercross fanatic. So I like anything with a motor that can put you in a dangerous situation.
So after leaving the home on 2nd Street, we then walked down to another one of their builds, which was about 80% complete. And I met up with the superintendent, Robert, and it just so happens that we ran into the homeowners when we started filming. Tell us a little bit about why you chose this design, and also why did you choose to live in Pinewood Forest?
Well, we chose this design because this is actually the exact same layout of the townhouse that we live in right now. So the townhouse was built by McKinney. We're very pleased with the work that they did and the quality of the home. And this just happens to be a lot that we found, and I don't know why it was available for so long, but it was. So we went ahead and put a deposit on it. We were thrilled when we found out McKinney was going to be the builder here, and we said, just build us the same thing that we already live in, but as a freestanding unit as opposed to a townhouse. And so they've built that out for us.
And do you guys enjoy living in Pinewood Forest?
I love it. It's been our favorite place to live, good to the community.
Well, thank you all for sharing. I mean, like I said, this is a beautiful home, and I can't wait to see it when it's complete.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Well, they're absolutely hammering it out. I mean, this is a house that is actually ahead of schedule. So they're at least a month ahead of schedule, maybe if not more than that. So they've done a fantastic job.
What did the inspector say about this house as he was looking at it?
So this was a pre-drywall inspection actually we had done, and contracted with an inspector to just kind of come in and look everything over. And he told me, listen, I've inspected over 12,000 homes over my 30-year career, and this is the first time I can find absolutely nothing wrong with this house. It's a well-built home, and he just congratulated me on it. He said, there's just nothing else I can find here. I've looked and it's fantastic. Wow. So.
I am actually a retired health physical education teacher and a football and track coach.
Really? Wow. So you went from football and track to now building homes.
Well, I retired in 2012, and after a couple of months of retirement, I couldn't take it anymore, so I worked for Lowe's for a few years. And one
you got
day,
tired of getting asked questions all the time, right?
No, not that. Mac McKinney, who I've known for a long time, he was in Lowe's one day and asked me, he said, Robert, you ever think about doing something different? And I said, what do you have in mind? He said, well, I need some help. Home building is picking up, and I'd like to sit down and talk with you if you're interested. And so we sat down and talked, and he wanted me to come to work for him. I said, well, as long as you need help, I'll be glad to help you. So we've been doing this now for close to 3 years.
One of the really cool features about this house is this beautiful deck that's overlooking the nice pond that they have out here. I can remember as a kid, my parents used to live just right down the street from here, and we used to come over to this pond, and I used to do some fishing on this pond. So it's really awesome to see this community just come together, and a lot of childhood memories in this location. So now that we got the cardboard out of the master bath, tell us what kind of features you have in here.
Well, these features are very similar to a lot of the homes that we do here. We have the vanity cabinets, which are done by Dickerson cabinets out of McDonough. We have lighting, and all the selections here are chosen by Dana Lynch Designs Company. The tile is also selected by the designers. And here in Pinewood, Dana Lynch Design Company is in charge of making all the design selections. The selections that they make go into a spreadsheet, and from that spreadsheet we follow the plan.
Which makes it easier for you because you don't have to pick out all the different features.
It saves tons of time as far as getting a house to the completion line.
So, with all the fun aside, here at Behind the Build, we're always looking to support a good cause, whether it's a local charity or an organization that is changing people's lives around the world.
The company that provides most of the flooring for our jobs now is called Real Wood Floors. Okay. And they originally went into the flooring business to raise more money for what their primary mission is to support homeless children throughout the world. That was actually what they were doing prior to going into the flooring business. They went into the flooring business to make more money to support their mission of helping homeless children. One of their factories overseas, they've had some of their homeless children from that area come back to work for them as adults. It's really a great story.
We are a member of the Southern Living Custom Home Builder Program. Basically, that is a group of builders who kind of meet the quality standard that Southern Living is after. And they support a program called Operation Finally Home. And that's how we got kind of connected. But basically, that program will find veterans around the country that are suffering some kind of loss from their service and then pretty much find a way to build them a house. We had a lot of support from Glock, the gun manufacturer, and we had a lot of community support. So we were able to provide it to them. It was not just McKinney Builders, it was all of our vendors and suppliers and subcontractors. Huge donations of time, money, and effort. And we all got it done quickly, and it was a great project.
Seeing what we've created, what the team, our subcontractors have created here is huge. I remember when it was all dirt, and I'm sure we'll remember when all this was dirt too, 2 years from now.
All right, guys, well, I want to thank you all for watching this episode of Behind the Build. If you would like to build a custom home with McKinney Builders, here's their contact information up on the screen. Feel free to reach out to them if you have any questions. Also, if you're interested in building a home here in Pinewood Forest, please visit the sales center, and somebody at the sales center would love to help you. Once again, I want to thank you for watching this episode of Behind the Build. Stay tuned for the next one.